So everybody, welcome to an exclusive first look at Donkey Kong Bonanza on the Switch 2. We were lucky enough to get some hands-on time and get over 2 hours of gameplay, going through some of the maps, going through and meeting our new compadre as well to see what it's like in this new open world concept for Donkey Kong. So sit back and enjoy all this awesome gameplay and our review of our first impressions. Let's get into it. So now everybody, let's get into this hands-on experience now that we've introed everything up, and of course, this is going to be an extended demo time. It is kind of amazing, we got a little brief intro on what to expect, but then at the end of the day, they wanted us to sit down and play for a couple of hours to see what the experience was like playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, and not to spoil anything, but I absolutely loved it in terms of what they were able to put together and create kind of this original storyline for Donkey Kong that we haven't seen in a long time, and also a unique way of playing in this style, in this kind of open world thing that Donkey Kong has been able to do. But just to give you guys an idea and contextualize what they were doing for us, they set us down in this living room environment. They gave us the Pro Controller as the main form of input. We weren't really using Joy-Cons. We used Joy-Cons a little bit at the end for the multiplayer, but we were using the Pro Controller about 90% of the time, and we were in TV console mode. So we didn't get to try this out in handheld mode, but I think it'll actually be a little bit better in handheld mode in my opinion. So far I've noticed with the Switch 2 games, they end up being a little bit more immersive and more fun in handheld mode. But you know, that's very subjective. I was able to hang out with 2 different Nintendo reps, and they were there just to kind of guide me along to help out if I had any questions. But to start off, they basically put me through a little tutorial, which everybody's going to go through when you do buy the game for the first time, learn the mechanics a little bit, learn what smashing means, learn what the currency is, learn where gold gets you, learn how to use Donkey Kong. So it's a pretty basic tutorial, and they put you through this little underworld to see what these terrains are like and what all this smashing is for, right? At first, when you get into it, you kind of feel like you're in one of those stress rooms where you just go and smash everything, and it's very, very satisfying in order to get that done, but there is obviously a method to the madness. There's multiple terrains that you learn from, there's multiple versions of each terrain. Each terrain has different kind of functions within the game of what they can do, how they're used as a weapon, how they're used to build things. So overall, I think this new terrain system that they put together has been great. But once you got done with the tutorial, then you get into the actual open world and they plop you into one of the sub-levels. Now I believe there's over 600 sub-levels to go through, and what's funny is that you're actually going downwards in levels. So you start off at the surface, then you go all the way down to kind of reach this lower level, which is going to be where the boss and the villain are, which we didn't get to, obviously. That's kind of to each their own, and that's for you to discover as you go through the gameplay and the storyline. But this demo wasn't super rigid. They kind of put you in a world and what to do. They kind of guided you through the storyline, but then they let you just play in the open world. They wanted you to interact with characters. They wanted you to interact with the terrain, learn how to throw things, learn how to use the different characters in the game, because you do get Pauline as one of your kind of companions that is a main character. It's a co-main character, and that's how they described it. So at no point did it feel like I had my training wheels on, because they let me explore as much as I wanted. There was one room at the very end that they told us not to access. It was a hotel in the Subterranean level that they really wanted you to kind of keep for the actual game. But that's the only real restriction they had. Outside of that, they said, hey, you can follow the storyline as fast as you want. You can follow it a little bit and then kind of go off and do whatever you want. Or if you just want to be plopped into this world and just kind of roam around and play around and not really go through the storyline, by all means, go for it. And like I said, we had about 2 hours to play with. And some of the things that stood out to me, of course, the first thing is going to be the graphics. The graphics and the gameplay definitely needed to be up to par, because a lot of it is based on the terrain, the different material choices, the composition of things, because each types of these terrains have different functions throughout the game. So the regular rock terrain can be used to, you dig through it, but you can also pick it up to throw it. You have mud also, which you can also pick up and throw, but when you throw it, it attaches to stuff because it's sticky, so you can use it as a platform. You can use it as steps to get up on different portions of the level. Then you have like concrete and steel and all these different things that can be used. You even have a terrain that's explosive that you use almost as a weapon, where you pick it up, you throw it to then blow up concrete to make it easier to bust through. So all these different terrains need to be very well established and very well put together visually in order for you to understand what's going on, because mud and rock look very similar at the end of the day. So you have to be able to distinguish them based on the feel, the terrain, and of course the different colors that are associated with them. And then there were 2 other aspects of the game that I wanted to highlight. The first one being the co-character, like I mentioned earlier, Pauline. So Pauline is introduced to you pretty early on in the game, and at first she's kind of this little rock companion, and then the rock kind of hatches, and then boom, you have Pauline there that's always on your shoulder, and she helps you along the game when it comes to using her powers, which is her singing voice, for a few things. The first one being that it turns you into this kind of super version of Donkey Kong. So it's called Bonanza Time. There's 3 different versions for you to play with. And it's basically, if you've ever heard of Dragon Ball Z, it's like going Super Saiyan Donkey Kong, and you're able to smash things much easier, pick things up, but it is on a time level. So the amount of gold that you have is going to determine how long you can be in that transformation, and you can pretty much turn it on whenever you want as long as you have enough gold in order to fill your meter, and that's only being able to be done through Pauline. So if Pauline isn't on your shoulder, you will not be able to go through this bonanza time, which I love. And then secondly, it's going to be the kind of RPGification of the game a little bit, because of course, it is a first-person open-world kind of game, but you need to be able to level up. You need to be able to kind of empower your Donkey Kong player or your character with different power-ups and different clothing that you can also level up, which is awesome to see. So it does have a skill tree that you kind of have to build throughout the game, and there are different decisions you have to make, whether or not you want to spend the gold on that, or spend it on other aspects of the game. So being able to skill up your Donkey Kong and Pauline and what they're wearing to get you through the game is also a nice added bonus, which helps you feel like you're progressing through the game and not just going level by level. You're actually powering up Donkey Kong as you go throughout. But that is the overall demo in a nutshell. We got about 2 hours to play around. We got to play with different subterranean levels, different types of terrains to play with in terms of, some rocky terrain, some muddy terrain, some watery terrain, some kind of foresty terrains or jungle terrains as well. So they kind of threw everything at us in terms of being able to play, but they wanted to keep a little bit hidden, so there is something to kind of look forward to when you are playing the game. I'm definitely going to pick one up when it does come out on July 17th, and it's going to be $69.99, and this is a Switch 2 exclusive game, meaning it's only going to be for the Switch 2. You can get it in digital and physical copies, so again, this is now the second main version game next to Mario Kart, and I think this is going to be the biggest one for them to begin with, because of course, Mario Kart was unveiled and unleashed with the Switch 2 launch, but again, we've had Mario Kart for forever. This one feels new, it feels like it's built truly for the Switch 2, and it's built to take advantage of the hardware of the Switch 2 as well. So if you guys do want to check it out, I'll leave a link down below. You can start the pre-orders at all the major retailers if you want, as well as on Nintendo.com. Let me know in the comment down below what you think, and if it's something that you guys are going to pick up and something you're looking forward to play on your Switch 2. But that'll do it, everybody. If you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below so I know you made it to the end. And if you want to watch more videos like this one, check out one of these videos right here. Until next time, I'm Fernando. Peace, everyone.